7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey everyone, it's the Grubby Pirate. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. So, you've come to the Philippines and maybe even found a beautiful little Filipino. Well, if you have, the chances are that you found her family. Or, should I say, don't worry about that, her family's found you. And we're not just talking about mom and dad and all the brothers and sisters. Hell no, you're only wishing it was going to be that easy. We're talking about grandma and grandpa, aunts and uncles, cousins, and we're talking twice removed. So here's my 2 pesos on the dreaded, and believe me, what's going to become the expected family tax that's guaranteed to be coming your way in one way, shape, or form, as well as my additional 2 pesos on how to avoid it all right from the beginning. Now, I hate to generalize and stereotype an entire nation, but I have honestly got to say that I have never met an expat who hasn't been expected to provide a family tax in some form or another. Whether that's a blatant straight cash handout, a so-called loan, because believe me, a loan in the Philippines is a straight cash handout. You're never getting it back. Or the provision of money to start up a business of some type. And it's not just 1 or 2 expats, it's every expat I've ever met. And I've been here for a while, I've met quite a few. But enough about them. I have my own stories and experiences, and I learned the hard way. But I did learn, and I got out of it alive. And here are my stories and advice for you to avoid it altogether. I'm lucky though. The relationship I'm in right now doesn't come with family tax at all. But that doesn't mean that one wasn't expected or even anticipated when the relationship first started. No siree, Bob. I definitely have to lay down the law and lay it down quickly, and I definitely did. This time around. But that's right, this time around. This relationship isn't my first rodeo in the Philippines. I've had a few relationships, and all of them began with the same expectation, a family tax. Now, like me, you're going to be loved by everyone when you enter a new relationship. And I mean loved by everyone. After all, you're the goose who lays the golden eggs. Your Facebook requests are going to explode out the roof, and every single one of them is going to be welcoming you to the family. And you're not going to believe how many godchildren requests you're going to receive. And that's just the joyous beginning. My first relationship in the Philippines was by far my worst, and I've come a long way, but let me tell you a bit about that. When I first arrived in the Philippines, I was so naive, and I had absolutely no clue at all. And here's the mess I got myself into. And of course, I fell in lust with a beautiful woman right off the bat. And you know what? When you get to the Philippines, you're probably going to as well. And here's what's going to happen the minute they've got you hook, line, and sinker. Of course, it all starts with the usual buying them dinner, taking them to the mall, and all that fun lovey-dovey stuff. But before you know it, her toothbrush is in the CR, and she has 4 to 5 of the drawers, not to mention every hanger in the place is spoken for. But now, you're also being asked to help her with her rent and utilities, topping up her phone load. But don't worry, because the sex is still great. Next comes the bad news about the sick or injured family member. And yes, my friends, the games have begun. And from this point, you're either in or you're out. And if I was you, from this point, I would get the hell out and get out fast. Now, if you're stupid enough to hang in, and yes, I'm sorry for calling you stupid, but you're stupid. Anyway, if you're stupid enough to hang in, the next step, I can guarantee you that this beautiful, lovely little girl is going to ask you, demand from you a monthly allowance. And you're also going to notice from right around this time, a lot of guests coming to stay at your house. And I mean stay at your house. Cousins, brothers, sisters, they're all going to start showing up out of the woodwork. And they'll be staying with you, of course. And believe me, you're going to be floating them while they're there as well. The food, the water, the entertainment, you name it. In my situation, my girlfriend's brother and sister miraculously moved in. But that was okay until I had to start floating them. And here I had her 18-year-old brother and 21-year-old sister moving in with absolutely nothing other than the clothes on their back. No money, no job, nada. But that's okay, they had the goose that laid the golden egg. But even though that's just the beginning of brother and sister, let's just stop it there and move on to mom and dad. Now the worst case scenario, and in my case, is that mom and dad, well, even if they have a job, they're actually probably going to quit that job because, again, they've got the goose that laid the golden egg. Now, it's one thing to be supporting your significant other, but to be supporting her entire family, that's a completely different story. If she insists that you do, you probably want to get rid of her as fast as you can. If she doesn't, well, you can't blame her family for trying. And as long as she doesn't continue to insist and stands by you, then you might just have a girl to hang on to. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have found a girl who will stand by you in your decision, well, you have to realize how lucky you really are and how special she really is. Because she is going to be outcast. She really is. My decision in view is not to provide my wife's family with any source of assisted income. You know, Christmas, that's different, and that's an entirely different video. But as for an assisted income, no way. But I laid that out in the very beginning, before we even started meeting the family. And believe me, once the family has found out that you're not their goose, well, they are definitely going to treat both you and she completely different from that point forward, and without a doubt, a lot less hospitably. And that's something else that I've heard from every expat that I've talked to about this situation. And that's the scoop on Philippine family tax. And you can expect it, but how you deal with it is entirely up to you. I'm just giving you my 2 pesos. And if you're a Filipino, well, you should realize that an expat should not be expected to support anyone else other than his or her significant other and, of course, their children. Anything more is a bonus, and you should be happy with that, whatever it is and whatever form it may be. Respect has to be earned, it can't be demanded. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone, especially for making it this far. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please toss me a bone and subscribe. I'm the Grubby Pirate, and I don't respect the expectation of a family tax in the Philippines. And I am out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.